Christian Survival Guide, Enemies of Peace, Part 5, Overcoming Pride. Hello, and welcome to another Christian Survival Guide. In Part 4, we talked about identifying pride in its many forms and why it is a threat to believers who are seeking a relationship with God. Today we will talk about ways to overcome it. Pride, like anger, is a snare, a trap. We must be aware of the problem, and only then can we work to get ourselves out of it. We must learn to be humble, for only humility can pull us out of the pride trap. Here are the ways we can overcome a pride problem. Number 1. Acknowledge the hurt. The truth is that no child is born with pride. Pride is a defense mechanism that kicks in when we have experienced emotional pain or trauma. Maybe there was a time you felt like you weren't good enough. Maybe you were treated badly and made to feel like an outcast. Misunderstood, hated, abused, and worthless are words to describe the feelings of the brokenhearted. In all that struggle with pride, behind it is a tender, soft spot. Both pain and anger can cause people to harden their hearts and act in prideful ways. Don't let pride pull you down the road to destruction. Tackle this at the roots by admitting that the pride stems from pain, not glory. This is a time for humility. If you haven't already, get down on your knees and pray to the Father that He heals you of your pain. Forgive and let go of those that wronged you, and also ask for forgiveness of your own transgressions. After this, you will begin to see a way out of the trap. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Number 2, do not judge. Now it's time for introspection. When we are hurt, it's so easy to blame or judge others for bad decisions. Some that struggle with pride may feel justified to bully or intimidate others simply because they may feel like the other person is wrong or not credible. But really, who is always right 100% of the time? The answer is only God. Don't fall into the trap of hypocrisy. It's important that we don't lose sight of the truth, and the truth is that no man is perfect, not even you. If you have fallen short, if you have made a single mistake, accept your shortcomings. Forget about other people and their faults. They will not justify your actions before God. No, but humble yourself so that you can be exalted in the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 7:1-5. Do not judge, so that you will not be judged. For in the way you judge, you will be judged. And by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, and behold, the log is in your own eye? You hypocrite! First, take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Number 3, have mercy. The last point about shortcomings brings me to this important teaching. which is to have mercy. This is something Jesus preached about frequently. He spoke often about having mercy on others if we expect mercy from God. There is a great parable about this in Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 to 35. It's called the parable of the unforgiving servant. It is a story depicting a servant who owes a debt and begs a king for forgiveness. The king forgives the servant, only to find the servant demanding repayment of debts from his own servants. The story ends badly, and the servant is punished severely for his arrogance. This parable illustrates how God will treat those that continue to be hard on others. We must forgive so that we can be forgiven. Micah 6:8. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Number 4. Remember the golden rule. For those that don't know, here it is. Matthew 7:12. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. This is a wonderful guideline if you're struggling with loving others. All it takes is a little thought and consideration, and your actions will begin to express love to others. Reflecting on how you might like to be treated helps you to keep you from reacting to others in spiteful or hurtful ways. It also downplays the entitled mentality that a lot of people who struggle with pride tend to have. It is not about what you think someone else deserves, but rather it comes down to treating a person like a human being. Number 5. Serve. Now it's time to get out of your comfort zone. How can we become humble while still taking steps to bringing in the kingdom of God? By serving others. Take time out of your schedule to help out people who are in uncomfortable situations. Now you may be thinking I'm referring to community service, such as serving at a soup kitchen or volunteering at a shelter. Serving the poor through social or institutional settings is often the only way people think they can serve. But the truth is, we can do much more than occasional volunteer work. When we serve others, it should be a daily function. For example, we can serve others by offering to do more work for a struggling coworker. If someone you know is going through a difficult time, you could bring them dinner. If you are at a busy function, you could offer to stay and clean up. You see, there are many ways to serve others. The more you do this on a daily basis, the more your heart will soften. Instead of viewing others through a lens of contempt, you will begin to look at the ways you can show love to others. People will appreciate you for your kindness, and you'll even feel better about yourself in ways you might never imagine. Mark 9:35. Sitting down, Jesus called the 12 and said, "Anyone who wants to be first must be the very last and the servant of all." Number 6. Be grateful. Yes, gratitude is critical. Being grateful for what God has given you is an excellent weapon in combating the enemy. In fact, it is so effective at turning the heart, it can be used with any kind of temptation. If you're feeling proud, spiteful, depressed, scared, angry, or jealous, remember your blessings. Remember all that God has done for you, all the gifts you are given, all the joys you had, all the things that bear witness to what good has been done in your life. It will melt your heart and leave you feeling grateful, refreshed, and optimistic. When you are doing this, you are only steps away from achieving the true peace that we were all promised by Jesus Christ. You see, this walk was not intended to be rooted in anger, fear, or pride. No, those are seeds the enemy sows to trick us into bondage. They are not from God. The truth is, every day we can live in peace, in joy, and in love. Once we realize that the evil sown in our heart is the real enemy, then we can finally understand where true peace resides. It is not some far-off concept that can only be achieved through becoming numb or cold. It cannot be obtained by worldly measures. No, true peace is found in a special place, only reached by those that are faithful, humble, and merciful. It resides in the love of Jesus, as he teaches us how to love God and each other. It is a gift from God, and it is our inheritance. Never let anyone or anything take away your peace. Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Since as members of one body, you are called to peace, and be thankful. Alright, that concludes our video today. If this video has blessed you, please feel free to share or re-upload this video with those who could also benefit. Thank you for watching, and join us again for another Christian Survival Guide checklist. Peace be with you.